Stand by. Shooter ready.
Stand by.
Welcome back to another episode of the PRS podcast. On this episode, we have Kevin Wexler of Eberlestock, and that's as much introduction I'm going to give you, Kevin. I'm going to let you take it from here.
Hey guys, as Ken said, Kevin Wexler. I am on the international sales team, or just on the sales team here at Eberlestock, and I'm one of the competitive shooters that we have here in house. Obviously, all of us guys here are kind of interested in our own niches. We all try to live the life that we represent, and I'm one of those guys on the competitive shooting side of the house. But been with the company now about 2 years, actually 2 years this month. So
Nice.
Right at an anniversary. It's been a fun, exciting 2 years, getting to do new things, meet new people, and get some face-to-face time with everyone here. Excited to be on the podcast.
Yeah, right on, man. I think, man, the last 2 years, like you guys have to undergone a significant amount of growth, right? I mean, just in the time you've been there. I'm not saying it's, Kevin joined the company and all of a sudden Eberlestock took off, but you guys are on a heck of a trajectory. But the last couple of years seems pretty awesome.
The last 5-6 years have been pretty aggressive growth for the company in a great way. And the last 2 years have been really cool to watch from an internal perspective. I was a customer for 8 years before that. I've lived in Boise now for 10. And when I came on 2 years ago, I think we were 25-ish guys strong. And now we're approaching 50 pretty quickly. So we've almost doubled in size, or we'll probably hit that 50 employee mark here in the near future as we're hiring for some crucial roles at the moment. So
Sure.
Shameless plug, if you're looking to work at Eberlestock,
Go to
go
the
hit
website.
our careers page on the website right now. Yeah,
Absolutely.
It's a great time to jump in.
I mean, I'm all about shameless plugs. Like I had the opportunity to come visit you guys when we were out in the Boise area last November for the Pro Series finale. Seth Howard, Brian Neese hosted at Snake River Outdoorsman. We had an excellent event out there, and then after the fact, decided to stick around. I'd bought mule deer tags for the high desert area, and the season was just after, so we were out there, and we spent a lunch hour. We drove up to Boise and went to you guys' place. Awesome facility, very cool. I mean, you guys it feels like an old industrial brick building with a whole bunch of new, like timber and all that. It feels and looks cool. Now you guys, when I was out there in November, had recently just like moved all the inventory, I think, right? Like to because you had it on hand and it was like, it's way too much. Had to move to a dedicated offsite place, right? I mean,
It's only about a mile down the road, so it's really not far at all. So like the building I'm sitting in currently is our headquarters building. It's right next door to that retail store, that showroom that you got to come into. But this was our primary facility for a long time. This might be jumping ahead a little bit, but I think it was back in 2007, 2008 timeframe, long before my time with the company. But this warehouse actually burned to the ground and lost almost all the inventory at the time. And basically Glenn at the time had to rebuild this warehouse, rebuild inventory.
Crazy.
So this is that new building that you guys got to see. It's been standing since then. And then we have a new, essentially our fulfillment facility down the street from this, about a mile down the road, where all of our shipping actually takes place now.
Yeah. Yeah, that's cool. And for anybody, I'll say this. This podcast is going to release before the Rimfire finale, which is just up the road from you guys in Parma. So Rimfire shooters, maybe we can work something out too, where they can come visit Eberlestock and come to the showroom, all that. But
they're welcome to.
I'd highly recommend it. Like it is a cool place. You get to see all the packs and all the gear and all that, all in one-stop shop. But all right, so enough of the shameless plugs. All right, let's talk about Eberlestock and its beginnings. It's fascinating to me, right? So it's Glenn Eberly, and it became Eberlestock for a reason. But one of my all-time winter sports that I watch during the Olympics. But I'm going to let you take it from there.
Yeah, I'm going to try and get this story right. I've heard it a few times at this point. So Glenn, if you're listening, you know where I sit, so you can come find me and correct me on this. But Glenn was or originally was a biathlete. So that was where the company of Eberlestock and where Glenn's beginnings really began. That story began in 1984. So specifically, if you guys aren't aware, the biathlon is the mix of precision shooting with cross-country skiing. So it takes a really, really high level of athleticism and, a VO2 max that's through the ceiling, and pair it with something that you have to have, extreme control of your function and your body to perform with. But he was involved in the 1984 Olympics. I believe it was the Sarajevo Olympics, if I remember correctly.
That's true. That is true.
And at the time, they were still using, heavy walnut stocks. They were brittle. And if you crashed during the race, you could break your rifle and now you're out of the race. Tough luck, but competition's over for you. What he wanted to do, and the entrepreneur that he is, and kind of how we've gotten to the point where we're at now with the company, is he wanted to innovate that in some way, shape, or form. He started to consult with individuals. He started getting grants and working with the U.S. Olympic Committee, and wound up essentially redesigning and innovating the rifle chassis and the stocks that they were using at the time. And it wound up becoming a carbon composite and wood mixture that, one, strengthened the design, and two, lightened the design. To the point that a lot of the European entities that we were competing against at that time in 1984 were jealous, from my understanding, and they were like, what is this thing? Where did this come from? And Glenn wound up populating that throughout the U.S. biathlon team. Yeah. So much so that the Olympic Committee wrote a rule around kind of the weight limits. And from my understanding, that rule still stands. And a biathlon rifle can weigh no less than 7.5 pounds. Than 7.5 pounds. So heavy to be skiing with, but still a relatively light rifle in what we would consider the PRS world. I would never walk out to a match with a 7.5 pound rifle.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Maybe for rimfire, but not for
rimfire.
Center fire.
No. But that was really the beginnings of the company. And from there, he wound up continuing those designs, working with the Olympic Committee, and further designing chassis and stocks for them for later Olympics down the road as well. But with that, that's where the stock portion of Eberlestock comes from, is physically developing rifle stocks. So much so that I've seen like the original wooden blank is actually still on a lathe. But there's so much so like his workshop still has the original blank that he would trace those with over in his workshop here. But with that, we jump ahead a little bit forward into the kind of the 90s. He started to develop and sell hunting packs because he was passionate about backcountry hunting here in Idaho growing up here. We started to see that, he was selling them to some buddies, making a small business out of it. But from my understanding, it hadn't become what it is now. He joined the U.S. Air Force, was flying A-10s, F-4 Phantoms, joined United, which was flying for United.
The A-10s they're based out of Boise, aren't they?
Oh yeah. It's super cool. Having Glenn's affiliation with the A-10s, and there's a squadron of them right down the street is awesome to see. They'll fly over the headquarters when they're coming back in.
That's cool.
You'll hear them howling. But we're actually they're getting replaced with F-16s. Sadly.
That's what I heard. That we had a buddy of ours that was accepted to. It's the 117th out there, right? Pretty sure. So. Yep, he was accepted to that program. Was a pilot here, professional pilot. Tanner Byholm, tragically, plane accident. He's flying kind of an experimental deal, and stuff went the wrong direction. But he was months from going out there. He'd already been assigned his teammate, all of that, and was supposed to be moving to Boise and fly A-10s, and it all ended way too soon. But
that sucks.
It does, but we got shout out to Tanner Byholm, awesome dude. We miss him, but that's how I got to know that the A-10s were based out of Boise there. So it's cool.
We're extremely fortunate that they're here because they're just a really cool platform. Sad to see them start to get phased out, but cool to have been here for a decade and watched them in that time. But with that, right? So flew A-10s, flew F-4s, started flying for United on the commercial side. And then kind of started designing backpacks in his spare time. Once again, entrepreneur, just wanting to make his life easier. The design really was centric around the ability to carry a rifle, differently than he had in the biathlon, right? So centered down my body with a harness system. How can I take that and apply that to a backpack? And that's what he started to do. Something that looked very similar to our Just One pack. If you guys are familiar or have seen the Just One. And he started stitching those himself, right? Making them here. And then quickly we started to see when the global war on terror kicked off, U.S. snipers were starting to grab our packs and utilize them overseas because it, one, allowed them to transport full-size rifle and still carry a carbine, but it also started to allow them to conceal those platforms from insurgents, and it kept them safer because they were no longer being targeted for having this large, piece of weaponry in their hand. And it physically started to save lives. And that was really where I would say the roots of the company, or like the backpack side of the brand, started to explode, where we started to diversify into a hunting line with the whole hunt line that we have, and now our mission line, which has all of our mission packs, including the Upranger. And then now our tertiary line being the EDC lines, and all of them having their own, they all cross each other, and their own, customers and individuals that go into all of those. But that's really that was a very quick synopsis, I would say. But that's really the roots of the company. And we were still selling rifles and chassis, I believe, up until 2015.
Holy cow.
We have a full FFL SOT because of that. And it's a cool place to be. There's a few laying around still that we're not doing anything with, but I don't think there's any plans to do anything with them. Yeah.
Now the logo, and you have it there on your shirt, right? The three circles. Mm-hmm. That was one of the trademark things that Glenn had done to lighten stocks, wasn't it?
Correct.
Like three holes basically through the stock, all in that pattern.
Yep. So the original, you have it spot on. The original was he was just trying to save some weight, so he started drilling 3 holes in the back of his stock, kind of balance things out.
Yeah.
And when they started to succeed, he started to call them his lucky rings. And then that design got implemented into our logo to the point that on, I believe it's still included on some of our packs, but most of our packs, years ago had that logo on them, and it said lots of luck. And then it had the lucky rings on it, and it was just 3 circles. At this point now, it's become our full logo.
You see it, and it triggers that's Eberlestock. You don't even have to see a name or anything like that. You can see it from a long ways away.
Yeah. But you can know that if you're carrying one of our packs and you have the lucky rings on it, which is what these are, you got some luck with you, and that was the whole goal of them.
Heck yeah. Well, we could all use a little bit more of that too,
especially with the targets you guys put out there. So
man. So all right, let's talk Upranger. You mentioned that a second ago. Now, I'll admit my first nice pack. So when I started PRS, I think I had probably some sort of duffel or something like that, and I had my duffel and my rifle. Man, I didn't even have a tripod with a set of binos or anything like that. So before then, right, just showing up at the range. But then one of my first upgrades, I bought a nice pack, right, and I bought actually a high speed 2. So Eberlestock high speed 2, nice pack. Definitely it's set up for somebody, I'd say, man, almost like a overnight pack, a couple day pack, whatever. And it had, it's also set up to hold documents and stuff like that. So it's kind of like this hybrid deal. And it worked pretty well. But trading that in and getting an Upranger was everything. I can't and I think one of the Clay Blackadder, is a friend of mine, really good shooter. He said it best. He's like, man, I resisted getting an Upranger for a long time, but it's the one piece of gear. If all my stuff was stolen, the Upranger would be the very first thing I'd buy, to replace. It's the only thing that's not replaceable, so to speak, But when I was out there and talking with your team and whatever, it was not designed necessarily for PRS shooters. Right? This is if it had another purpose in mind and all that, but it is the quintessential PRS pack now.
The original design purpose was actually, once I was trying to find this because it was on our site at one point, but I believe Dan Horner was the original kind of design consult on it with Glenn. So we had a 3-gunner who was helping us design this pack, right? So you're talking carrying handguns, mags, shotguns, all of that. So we originally had the Sidewinder case, and that rifle case was supposed to molly to the side of it, so you could carry your AR, you could carry your shotgun, and then you'd have your handgun stored inside, right? Sadly, we've discontinued those rifle cases, but the Upranger still stands, and it quickly became, and now is, obviously the pack of the PRS for good reason. I think we did a count when we were at the finale, and there was like 205 shooters in the field, 200 shooters in the field,
something like that.
And I think the final count was 132 of our packs in the field. The vast majority of those were uprangers, and then there was a few like high speed twos and a few of our fact tracks floating around as well.
It's crazy. I mean just the design of it, right? Like I've never used another pack that the main opening of the compartment, whatever, is actually what's on your back and not the other side, right? And I mean, the PRS has been known as Precision Rain Series, and inclement conditions and all of this. Like, there's no better pack because you can set this thing down and it probably floats too. So you could set it down in a lake if you needed to, but in a mud puddle, and it doesn't matter because that hard shell that goes on the bottom, like it protects your stuff, flat out. Yep. There are a couple hacks to it though, and I think I've shared this with Kirk in marketing there. And these aren't my ideas. I'll give credit to Matt Steiner and some of the Northeast guys. But you can buy a Molly handle that like has a couple clips that goes on the bottom, because then when you go to pick this thing up like kind of like a duffel, you get the top handle that is usually behind your neck, and then there's another handle. You know what? I'm gonna have to put this in the blog post. I got a couple pictures of this, but when this goes live, everybody go over to the blog post and look. But you can mount a handle at the bottom basically with the Molly. But then now you got two carry handles, like absolute must. And the other thing, and when I was shooting in Iceland about a month ago, and Iceland, like every shooter over there had uprangers too. It was awesome. What you need is Molly sticks for the side compartments. Like it's kind of a rigid Molly deal that you can kind of weave through, but those
permanently attach them to the side. Yeah,
yep.
I've seen that same thing.
It's like semi-permanent, right? Like they go in nice and quick, but it holds all that the side pieces nice and tight to the actual pack. Like it's I did those two things, and I'm like, man, this like unbeatable gear setup.
Those are things that I actually recommend myself.
There you go.
Those side wings are awesome. Yep. They carry a lot for you, but obviously they were designed to separate, to carry a rifle scabbard in between, so they can be a little unstable. But yeah, permanently or semi-permanently attaching them to the pack makes that pack completely different. And then the carry handle typically is something that I'll add to the bottom myself, because that thing, I mean, you start putting mags, ammo, spotting scopes, whatever. It's heavy, and grabbing it from one side, it's going to either flip over and things might, spill out, but you can just grab it like a duffel and move.
Exactly. If you got to walk a ways, like you're going to zip that thing up full and take it and put it on your back and go. But if you're like, if you got like 10 yards between stages, like you just grab both handles and carry it over. It works out awesome. But I'll make sure that makes it into the blog post for this, and a couple pictures of that. But man, it is awesome. Like I like the side pouches or whatever. Like put my Garmin in there. I put my data cards. Like everything's separate and organized. Like it is badass.
And then with the inclement weather in mind, our small rain cover, just if anyone ever needs it, just bungees right over the top of it. So it'll pack down to a tiny little ball. You could keep it in one of the side compartments or the base of the bag. And if you guys do wind up at a match that's, adverse weather, drag it out, put it over the pack. Now the physical pack itself is staying dry, and then the base of it is taking all the abuse with the polycarbonate.
Exactly. That polycarbonate, it feels bulletproof. It's awesome. It's awesome. Man, I was, so last year we started conversations about, official partnership between Eberlestock and PRS. And at that point, I had no idea what the roots of Eberlestock were. I'd been a fanboy and a user for a long time, but, I had no idea that you guys had been involved with the firearm industry and all that. And that, the roots go back to Glenn Eberly and biathlon. And it's like, more and more I got to know about you guys. Like, man, this is a match made in heaven. Like, and the products couldn't be more well suited to what we do. There's nobody else, out there making bags and stuff that, that our PRS users are using. It's awesome.
I appreciate the kind words. I mean, we're fortunate that within your community and our community as a whole, right? specific PRS matches, you're interacting with like some dude who, you know, mows a cornfield all day and he's a farmer, or you're talking to some guy who's part of the AMU or some high level operator in some military unit, right? And they're all out there trying to be better, shoot better, whatever it might be. But at the end of the day, they're all still coming, and then they're needing packs, and we get to collaborate and work with all of them and bring so many different walks of life together. So I think it's a really cool opportunity.
Yeah, it's a great partnership, man. We're glad to have you. I bought one of these not that long ago too. I think this is just like a general purpose pouch.
Oh yeah.
And obviously there's lots of companies that make small pouches or whatever, but found these in the outlet store. Like, and that's also pretty cool. You guys have an outlet and there's a lot of stuff in there, discounted, et cetera. And I'm like, man, I'm going to buy a couple. And what I use these for, and this is for, I'm just giving a shout out. I mean, it's a small general pouch, but when you travel, and at least this is what I was doing, I would disconnect from our nightstand, like all my phone charger and watch charger and all that. So you typically a charge block, but you know, cables, USB-C, lightning port for iPhone and all that, small battery. But I keep all of that in one of these, and it's like, do not touch when you're at home. But if you're traveling, everything is in one of these, and you just throw it in your bag and hit the road. I was getting sick of like unplugging all my stuff and then like try to organize it and put it in a backpack or whatever. And then I'm like, this is ridiculous. Like, I'm just buying duplicate stuff that I can travel with. And it's a shout out to anybody who travels a lot or goes to a lot of matches. Like, buy a small pack, fill it up with the stuff you need, and leave your stuff at home, right? Leave all the nightstand stuff at home.
We have a lot of small accessories that people probably don't look through as heavily as they do our full packs. But if you're looking for something to organize something within your backpack, we probably have it, from small little zip pouches, lightweight ones, like our hanger zip pouches or our Sears dry bags that we have, to something like a GP pouch that you can molly onto the side of a pack or keep separate and just turn it into a little pouch that you can shove in somewhere. But I'm an organizational nerd, so I like my Upranger. I actually take something that I've started using is our Fade line of backpacks, which is an EDC line that we developed for executive protection. They have Velcro pouches that we developed for them. The inside of the Upranger is Velcro lined. So if you go and grab those pouches, you can, and make larger sections within your Upranger. I use our Fade View pouches to organize ARCA accessories, batteries, a spare firing pin or bolt mechanism, a spare trigger, and keep all those small parts organized in my Upranger, so they're not just sloshing around in there. They're
secured by Velcro and zipped in.
Oh yeah. Yep.
That's awesome. Yep. Yeah, man, I can imagine. I keep, especially working there, right? And there's gear everywhere. Right. Like, but your wheels kind of probably get spinning, right? Where you're like, whoa, I think I could probably use that in this scenario or whatever. Right.
It's a daily thing for me. I'm looking at something. I'm like, I wonder if I can make this work with this. We never designed it to do that. And then you just slap it together and it all works at the end of the day.
I love it. What about any future products that, that would be worth mentioning here for hunting, for PRS, that type of thing? Like, what do you guys have big plans of stuff coming out that we can talk about?
I don't know how much I can give away, because the powers that be above me will come find me if I give out too much information potentially. But I think the count as of right now is we have about 35 new products debuting between now and SHOT Show 2026. So for reference, this is September 4th of 2025. So we're looking at like
4 months, 4.5
months. Yeah. So we just launched back in August here, or started shipping our brand new hunting frame, the mod frame, which basically took everything we learned from the mainframe and upgraded it in some way, shape, or form, right? Mainframe still exists, but the mod frame is our newest and greatest frame option that we have available. Along with that came our new hunting bag, which is kind of coinciding and in between the Vapor that we already had, but it's the Brooks series. So the Brooks is coming in a 3,500 and a 7,000 cubic inch bag that zips right into the mainframe, like everyone was used, or excuse me, the mod frame and the mainframe, like everyone was used to. With that, we have some really cool apparel pieces coming that I am extremely excited for. apparel has been something that we've kind of like been hit or miss with some items here and there. But these are ones like we were just talking on them the other day. Like we are genuinely excited for these apparel pieces to hit because we think that they're really well designed and they're going to fill a ton of different voids for us in our apparel line.
Okay.
And then we have a good chunk of new mission packs coming. So rifle carry options for your snipers out there. We have 2 new patent pending rifle carry designs coming.
Awesome.
One that integrates into our new mission frame. So if you guys aren't familiar, we have the mission EMOD line and we have the hunting EMOD line. And while there is some crossover compatibility with buckling things in, the zippers are different. So if you have a mission EMOD bag, it'll zip into the mission frame, but it won't zip into the hunt EMOD frame and vice versa.
Okay.
But with that, we have a specific rifle carrier coming for that mission EMOD line, which is built around kind of larger frame gas guns and or, bolt guns of that kind. But really we saw a gap where we were having trouble fitting, let's use, a large frame rifle as an example with a 7-35 on top of it. And then you throw a laser rangefinder. You're talking a rifle that's now what, 10 inches
tall.
wide.
Yeah.
Plus, we were having trouble fitting them in our scabbards. That design had been around for a while, and we figured we needed to redesign it and make it work because we were getting feedback from end users that, hey, we need to fit this, we need to carry this. How can we make this happen?
I don't think anybody's had that type of innovation, right? I mean, like most scabbards, rifle, even like just rifle cases in general, aren't.
It's been
tall enough. Yeah.
I mean, you've probably seen it within PRS. There's been an explosion of laser rangefinders within the last, 5 years as technology has advanced. And now that's flowing down.
Yeah.
Yep. Civilian market. We got the Vortex. We have the Tango Fire now in the civilian area. MozTech just came out with their versions for the civilian market as well. And then we have obviously the high price point ones up at, the $10,000 range.
Yeah.
All of us wish we can grab.
Yeah. Right. Raptors and stuff. Yeah. Yeah.
Exactly. But the need to be able to carry a rifle with those mounted on top really started to arise last year and kind of at the end of 2023. So we wanted to make sure there was something coming for those guys, mill-end users or competitive users going to a PRS event or maybe some other type of sniper challenge that needed to carry a rifle of that kind.
Yep. Man, you mentioned some of the clothing lines and all of that. And I guess I'm going to give a shout out to the outlet store because I of course I browse like a lot of our partner websites and all that just to see what's going on. And the outlet stores like sometimes discontinued stuff or overruns or whatever it is, right? Man, I bought a set of the rain pants and rain jacket. And then I don't remember the name of the pack, but I'm able to like fold up the rain gear and stuff the pants and jacket into it's probably about 1.5 liter size pack. Of course, that I have that, and I have my rain fly for my upranger, and I just keep all like that's sort of like that has to go with me to every match, otherwise I'm going to get rained down for sure. But if I have that with me, it's
your good omen.
Yeah, it's a good omen. It's insurance policy, all of that, right? But like the rain gear, it was actually really cheap in the outlet store. To have that is phenomenal. And I'll say this too, is the first pair of rain pants I've ever found. They come with the suspenders to wear as sort of overalls, and they have belt loops. So the benefit there for anybody shooting PRS is that you can still wear your battle belt, but having the suspenders, like they're really comfortable over top of like your tactical pants or whatever that you're wearing. So like, I don't know if that stuff's still available or still in the outlet store, but like, man, it's a sense of security for me having that now. Like if it starts raining, I know I'm going to be fine.
Sadly the rain gear's been discoed, and that was kind of why I was floating around in the outlet store. So the outlet store, if you guys are on the website, it's a great place to go catch something. Most likely, like sometimes stuff that's in there is discontinued, or just something that we're overstocked on something, and you guys are going to get the bargain because of it.
Man,
but
we got the Seven Devils Rain Show is what it's called. Yep, and
I can tell you there are plans for rain gear in the future.
Okay.
Once again, with knowledge we're bringing, new design designers we have in house that are bringing better knowledge than ever before when it comes to clothing and apparel. But I can't tell you when that would happen, because if I put some sort of hard number out there, and obviously like that's not what's happening, they'll come find me for it. But
No. We're not going to put you in that position. That's a bummer. Well, it's still a shameless plug, and I guess if you can't, if maybe the rain gear is, it's still in the outlet store and there's sizes that fit you, like buy it. It's good equipment, and for PRS shooters, like having a small pack that you can just sort of grab on the way out the door, and it's like that's everything I need in case it starts raining. And I would also say this for any PRS shooter out there: have a gallon-sized Ziploc bag. I always take 2 with me. That's just for your course of fire, so you have you can keep the paper out of the rain. But if you have one with you, an extra one, like there's always somebody in your squad that doesn't have one. So keep that in mind for PRS shooters. Get yourself a nice bag, rain pants, rain jacket, preferably from Eberlestock if they have it in the outlet, and throw a gallon-sized Ziploc bag in there and a rain fly for your pack. It's everything you need.
Well, I saw some new fabrics getting played with not so long ago, so there'll be some.
I love it.
Whether they're redesigns of old pieces or some new products altogether come in. There'll be some rain gear updates at some point, so I can promise you.
Okay.
There will be updated rain gear at some point.
Yep. And I'm assuming if PRS shooters out there, keep an eye on when Kevin Wexler shows up at a match and he's wearing some fly new stuff in the rain. Like, take a good look at it.
I'm trying to. Yeah, I'll show up to some stuff. No promises on how I'm going to place, but there's. I will for sure talk gear with anyone that's there.
That's
I'm
cool.
a gear nerd through and through, and we can talk backpacks, rifles, whatever it is. All
Love
day.
it. Yeah, last year at the finale, we all knew what we were going to get, right? And well, actually, I take that back. Everybody assumed it was going to be colder than hell in Idaho in November. Turns out, like the whole week leading into us getting out there, it was like 75, 80 degrees. It's high desert. It could be nice and warm like that.
Mm-hmm.
That's not what it was for the finale. It was 55, kind of rainy, sleety, haily. Like it was everything. But you guys you guys came out and had a tent set up and all that, and had unreleased. I don't think it had released yet, right? All of your down gear, right? Down jackets and all that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And that, talk about, you couldn't have been a better place and time to have that.
That was.
I think you guys.
There was some forethought into that. I knew when we were heading down to that, we knew that obviously the weather here is as bipolar as it gets.
Right.
It'll be 75 degrees one day come this time of year, heading into the fall, and then the next day it'll be somehow 30 degrees and snowing. And specifically heading into those canyons that we were in down in Bliss, that is probably the worst of all of it, with like how dynamic that weather gets out in the desert.
Right.
And we wanted to make sure that you guys had some gear you could grab if the weather got weird, and it did.
It did.
What was it? Because day one we had almost zero wind, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, it was pretty calm.
I think the top 10 was separated by like 6 points coming out of day one. And then going into day two, the wind kicked in, and we were gusting 25 on a pretty regular basis.
And rain
you started
showers.
to see rain, and you started to see that gap open up pretty quickly. But those dudes put on a show.
No, they did. It was incredible to watch. The AMU guys. And it's funny too. Like, of course, everybody thought like, oh, we're heading out to the Northwest. It's going to be a West Coast guy, and and I think we all thought it was going to be Nick Adarzi, who's out of the Northwest, and then just put a clinic on for most of the regular season. Every match that he'd put on, or that he'd entered, he'd won. I think going into the finale with 4 or 5 wins. But it's the Army Marksmanship Unit guys just dominated again with Ben Gossett and Cale Harmon going 1-2.
Yeah.
It was crazy. A couple guys from Georgia playing in the big wind and rain and all of that. They did exceptionally well.
Oh yeah, they crushed it. I think another AMU shooter was up in TAC class, if I remember correctly too.
Yep, Scott Peterson.
Scott. Oh yeah.
Yep.
Good old Scotty.
Yep.
And then we had recently I saw some other AMU shooters at local USPSA match as well, and those guys crush it over on the USPSA side too. So AMU is doing something right over there. They're training their guys up well.
They are, yeah. It's fun to watch those guys shoot and hear their story, and that they're always training. They're doing a lot with other. I don't know how much I can even say, but they're training not just civilians, but other other military organizations and stuff. Not even just U.S., but elsewhere. And man, it's a cool program, and we're proud to have them. Those guys at the top. It's awesome.
Oh yeah, I'm proud to see them rocking our stuff because it's definitely in their hands. I can tell you that. So
yeah, it's cool. So we have the Rimfire finale coming up. It's going to be in Parma, just up the road. You guys have plans of being out there, checking out the venue and seeing what's going on for Rimfire?
I think we're definitely going to try. It's in our backyard here, so why not, right?
Yeah,
we'll be out there. We'll be talking to some people. If for some reason we can't make it out there, come on by. Like we're gonna treat you with as much hospitality as we possibly can. If you guys come into the retail store, you're gonna run into our dudes. We're all willing to talk shop and talk backpacks or just chat about life. We'll be your therapist if we need you to be.
And I forget too, you guys have a couple shooters in house like that do PRS, and one gentleman I remember talking with him, whatever, but big PRS shooter and advocate for us and all that, but runs the outlet store there, right?
Yeah, so that's Tucker. Tucker
right.
Johnson. Tucker was a Marine. He got to shoot the finale last year. And did the best he could against obviously some of the best rifle shooters in the world. Right. And that man can run a bolt gun too. Tuck's our retail store manager, and then myself. I haven't gotten to shoot as much dedicated PRS this year as I've been once again jumping between disciplines way too regularly. But myself and Tuck have been probably the two of the bigger ones shooting PRS on a regular basis here in house. And then one of our designers, Eli, has jumped into a few matches as well. That's cool. Other rifle series, but we can mention other
rifle series, NRL Hunter and all that. It's all acceptable.
NRL team matches, things like that, right? But at the end of the day, you guys might be competitors in that scene, but we're all part of the same community,
right?
And we're all the same dudes that you're seeing across matches. So if you see someone at one match, you're probably going to see them at another. So best be friends with them.
Yeah, exactly. So do you have any big plans this fall? Matches, hunting, any of that type of thing? I'm always jealous too. Like I talk to all winners of all the Pro Series matches and give them a call, and they're like, it's guys that are Utah, Idaho, Montana, Wyoming, or Pacific Northwest, all that. Like, they're like, yeah, I'm pretty much done shooting for the year, and it's like August. Like, look, what are the plans or whatever? And they're like, oh, it's hunting season, and hunting season out there is different than it is in the Midwest. Like hunting season in the Midwest is, you wait to deer gun opener, which here in Wisconsin is like the week before Thanksgiving, and it goes to the weekend after Thanksgiving. So you get like 10 days of hunting or whatever. It's always cold, usually snowy, and there's no like scouting deer or driving deer. Like you go sit in the woods and freeze your butt off, and that's hunting. But out there, it's a lot different. Right.
It is. It's a lifestyle out here. I can tell you that. I have never been or have yet to like truly get into hunting. It's something I want to break into. But my coworkers around me are like, that is what they live and breathe. They are in the woods. They'll get off of work. We leave the office typically, around 4:00 on a day, and they will be in the woods within 30 minutes to an hour. And they're scouting deer in whatever unit they have a tag in. And they're trying to find the biggest, baddest buck or bull that they possibly can.
Yeah, I hope too.
They're bringing home some big animals every year. We got one of my coworkers in the sales team is leaving for Alaska on Sunday to go on a moose hunt. Casey on our marketing side, big bearded man. If you see him at an event, he's a great dude to go talk to. He's in Alaska right now on a caribou hunt. And I think they every single one of them filled a caribou tag. One of our marketing guys, Noah, was just in Alaska on a hunt as well. Everyone's got deer tags. Everyone's got elk tags.
Oh man,
antelope tags. Like hunting this time of year, I'm surprised everything still runs around here because guys are taking PTO and they're going out into the field. Yep.
Yep. Yeah. No. I had that impression when I was there, man. Like it is in the lifeblood of Eberlestock. Like it is.
Yeah.
It is hunting, right? And I'm assuming like Glenn Eberly, like he big time hunter and all that too, right? And he's out and about.
Oh yeah.
All fall.
Yeah. That is. I mean, that's the roots of where our packs came from, was the hunting side. It just so happened that we built an awesome pack for the mission side as well.
Yeah.
But I would say like the hunting side, just hunting in Idaho as a whole is like the lifeblood of this state. And if you meet anyone that's been here for, their life, they're probably involved in some sort of hunting. So,
oh yeah. Yeah. Like I said, after the finale last year, so back in, it would have been like February of last year, I'd said something to Seth Howard and Brian Neese, like, hey, if I'm coming all the way out to Idaho and I'm driving out there, I'm going to have the truck and trailer and all that, like, man, what would be sweet is if, maybe stick around and do some mule deer hunting after the fact, right? And they're like, oh, yeah, absolutely. And, we kind of look at the seasons, and like there wasn't a whole lot of season left after November, at least for some, firearm and all that. And we found that right outside Bliss was, and actually where the finale was the unit that we could hunt in, and is considered, high desert, I think, and you could use
like an over the counter tag, basically.
Yep. Well, we still had to apply for it. And I think I got mine in March as a secondary tag or return tag or something like that. But it allowed me to use a primitive firearm or whatever, which I have a modern muzzleloader, I think, which was considered as part of that. Hopefully I'm not getting this wrong, and that, somebody's going to correct me or call the Idaho State game or whatever on me. But so I had mentioned it to Brian and Seth, like, yeah, we'll get them. And those two guys, were super excited to help out. Like, yeah, we're going. Like, I know the units we're going to go to, and we're going to go out there, and we're going to drive around, not the units, but the BLM land and all that. And like, they were just as excited to put on the finale as they were to try to find a couple mule deer, man. And
they are diehard, like they are Idaho boys through and through. Anytime I get to go shoot one of their matches, it's a pleasure. But those guys just love being outside and helping people, and that's why they do what they do. And I would imagine they gave you a hell of an experience out there as well.
Yeah. Oh, I mentioned it was right before I think it was the Friday of sight-in at the finale, and I mentioned it to Matt Allwine, who's a Pacific Northwest guy who hunts all over the Northwest. I'm like, yeah, I got a tag. It's like good for this unit right now. And he's like, I got to sight my rifle in, and then I'm going scouting. And I'm like, what? And he's like, I'll just look on Onyx and try to find property, but I'm going to get out of here. And he spent the rest of the evening looking for mule deer for us. Like
that's Matt to a T right there. I got fortunate enough to sit down with him at SHOT Show 2 years ago and kind of speak with him and Nick over at Loophole. And those are two good dudes. And Matt hasn't won anything recently from my recollection, right? He's not doing good at all, but Matt's crushing it. So
he is. Yeah. On the hunter side, he is unreal. And actually he's out hunting right now. I talk to him sometimes via InReach or whatever. And I know like Pinch talks to him via InReach, and he's like nonstop hunting. I don't know how that guy stays married this time of year, but
that's most of our guys here. They're like, I don't know if I'll have a marriage when I get back in November, December timeframe, but they just push through for 2 months and hope for the best on the other side.
Yep. Yeah. Man, yeah, it's cool. And again, thank you for coming on to the podcast. I love the relationship between the PRS and Eberlestock, and man, the innovation and the products that you guys deliver, like it's unmatched, honestly. And that's part of the reason I love it. Like, I feel like that the PRS is putting out a premium product for competitions and all that, and it's a good marriage between us and Eberlestock. I feel like you guys share same core values and beliefs and all that, and we're happy to have you. Thank you.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more, man. That is like, at the end of the day, we're just a bunch of dudes that are selling backpacks across the world, and we want nothing more than to help and support the guys that support us, whether that's just an average dude who's, once again, corn farmer somewhere in some country or corner of the country, or some high level military asset that's doing it globally. Like, those are the guys that we just want to interact with them and help them get the gear they need to better support their jobs.
That's awesome, man. Well, Kevin, I appreciate having you come on. Thank you. And hopefully everybody enjoyed this. Check out check out the blog posts that I'm going to put on this. I'm going to put those couple hacks that I did in my pack, my Upranger. Check that out and stay tuned for the next show. Thanks.
Yeah. See you guys later.